Hello, my viewers. Today I have a special lady on the set. She's the fifth that I'm going to do in terms of Toronto. And some people may see her as a celebrity. She looks very nice. And I won't take up much of her time. Before further ado, I would like to introduce this lady. It's a tribute to her husband. And I will still, though, have to ask her a little bit of her background, although it's towards her husband.
Well, thank you for having me, Mr. McGill. Thank you for having me. I've been looking at your podcast and really enjoying them. It's so long overdue for the beautiful work that a lot of pioneers before us have done, and nobody seems to know about them. So you keep it alive, and I thank you for that. My name is Margaret James. At that time, it wasn't Margaret James; it was Margaret Elliott. Came to Toronto back in 1967. Did nursing. Was one of the nurses at St. Mike's Hospital, Providence Hospital, and definitely didn't like it because I always loved the fashion business. So, but I stayed for as long as I could. Moved to Detroit, moved to Windsor, where I could work in Detroit. Um, I did special nursing then, and every time I come to Toronto, everybody was so crazy about the clothes that I wear. So I decided I'll open my own boutique on Paper Avenue. I was one of the first Black women here to open Margaret's Fashion Boutique on Paper Avenue.
So let me interject there. You came to Toronto, you were in all these US gabs, and everybody could relate to that because
Well, in Toronto, they didn't have no gabs in those days.
that's right. We had to go down to New York.
You had to go to
New York, so you end up being in a border town, which was ideal for you. But if I remember correctly, you I guess based on this admiration for your attire, you went into the business realizing, okay, you supply Toronto
Yes,
with what you were wearing.
of course, of course.
And if I remember correctly, you're in one of the centers of the three centers we will be covering here in the history, which would be Eglinton and Mali area, the
Yes.
Bathurst area, and you were in the PP.
I was on the Pape Avenue area because, from Trinidad, it looked like that was Trinidad town. So when when you came from Trinidad, when you migrate from Trinidad, everybody used to just be in Pape. On Pape, we had people like Louis Saldina, his father, Harold Saldina. We had people like the Binos, Pammy and Bunny Bino. We had Gart McGlaw, he was the king there. Smokey, Allen, So Cordelia and Lloyd Gerard. It was our town, Jan and Steve, It was a fantastic time for our people. We used to lime throw parties in our apartments and so on. Like police never used to stop you in those days, So you just really have it was a togetherness, more than what we have now. It was a beautiful togetherness with people coming from different countries.
But if my memory serves me well based on the preempt, I think you left some people crying because you went home.
Well, boy, the thing is that in 1979, we had the oil boom in Trinidad. And in having the oil boom, I didn't even know what the oil boom was because I'm up here 10 years, you're really not paying that much attention to it. It wasn't like now we have social media where you see every minute something in your country and so on. I didn't pay much attention, but my then uncle, I.T. McLeod, he was a jazz person who come to all the jazz shows in Montreal. He was passing through and came to my business in Toronto and said, "Girl, what, any Tobago language, why, girl, why you not come home? Come home, the man. If you come home, you'll do much better because it's oil boom time." So I did take him up on it, and we decided to come down to Trinidad at the Hilton Hotel. We brought in models from Trinidad, from Toronto, Jean Fleming, Cheryl Fleming, Cynthia Bain and her sister Diana Bain from Montreal. They were the designers. We had models from New York. I know one was Cheryl Cummings. I can't remember the other person's name. But the models that Trinidad had. Trinidad had Lisha Kudrow, Alison Brown, my God, Sharon Imbert, all these beautiful people. And we decided to do this big fashion show at Hilton. But never know that, I didn't know Elsworth James, but he was the entertainer on the show. Both himself and his cousin, Jerry James, they were double feature then, singing together, the duel. And boy, when I saw this gorgeous man, I said, wow, you know, he looked just as those beautiful men in Detroit, and attire and also his performance was out of this world. So we fell in love, came back to Toronto, pack up all my things, and in less than a month time, I was in Trinidad.
The bottom line is you fell in love.
I fell in love hard with Elsworth James, and definitely decide, well, you know, I was coming home anyway. No time we opened our business at Golden Door Plaza. We were doing so well that in less than another year, we had two business at the Kupalani roundabout. That was Kupalani Mall. There was a mall there in Barataria. So we had both things going and doing very, very well. We got married in 1982. A beautiful garden wedding at my uncle's residence at Grace Garden, Santa Cruz. 1983 definitely was a great year for me because that's the time my beautiful daughter Afisha was born. Elsworth was one of the top entertainers then, and did a beautiful song when he witnessed the birth of Afisha. In those days, men never used to be in no room seeing woman making no child, but Elsworth definitely is Elsworth James. So he definitely was there. And in doing so, it jolted him, it make him really realize, boy, woman does go through pain. And in no time, he wrote a beautiful song about his daughter Afisha. It was one of the biggest songs where they used that song to help educate men that please be good to their women. And up to today, this song is one of the biggest songs in the Caribbean.
In '84, I see you had a show in Skinner Park. He was performing in Skinner Park and stuff.
Okay, he was one of the big stars at the Spectacular Forum, singing Pan from Heaven and Save the Culture. He also, because he also was the first, I think, pop singer to get into the semifinals, it was challenging for him because his two songs was great, but they were saying that pop singers should not be in the Calypso arena. And that was difficult because he was good. He really did well with Save the Culture and this Pan from Heaven, two fantastic pieces. So, you know, unfortunately, Elsworth had some health challenges and we had to leave from Miami to get help for him. And in doing so, we had to close our businesses. It was one of the worst time of my life because I really love my business and love the people of Trinidad and Tobago. My customers was great and we had beautiful rapport, but definitely his health was important to me.
It seemed like now, after his daughter, here comes another birth, and Again, the other sex in 1986, it seemed like
Well,
that.
and when we went to Miami to get Elsworth better, you know what happened? I got pregnant, boy. And in getting pregnant, I already was a Canadian citizen, had my papers, but don't have papers in Miami, so I head back to Toronto. We came to Toronto where I could seek good medical help for with my pregnancy and have a healthy baby, and we definitely did that. Elsworth was traveling with Sparrow and Crazy. They had an A-team going from going all over Canada and different parts of the Caribbean and so on. It was the Mighty Sparrow, Elsworth James, Crazy, Mighty Gabby. I know Winston Soso from St. Vincent, singing Francine. A bunch of them was going from place to place, and Elsworth was one of them. He also worked the Toronto circuit, which is the Cutties, the different nightclubs
Okay, but this tour that he was doing with Sparrow and everybody else enlightened
yes,
him to want to spread the culture.
yes, that was part of it. When he really wanted, Elsworth problem was when he came to Canada, he think, look, I can't come here and and seeing everybody. Then reggae was it. This was it. All the different music was it, and calypso still in a little place with about 400-500 people. In fact, you never even used to have much calypsonian. You'll see one or two. So he decided, look, I am going to promote my culture by all means necessary. So he brought the first year, he took the Trinidad Club, or Club Trinidad at that time, and decided to put on a Caribana event. In doing the Caribana event, Ed Watson was here, Denise Plummer was here, Bali and Posa used to be the only calypsonian you used to see in Toronto. And in doing so, he decided, look, I have to really do something with this music. Ed Watson I think came up for the Caribana committee, but they got rained out on the island or something like that. So everybody flocked to Trinidad Club. It was the hugest thing I've ever seen. People can't get in. So the following year, I think Ivory told him, boy, you could use Lamport Stadium. Ivory used to live here, and Black Ivory, and Ivory told him, definitely, why don't you use Lamport Stadium? So we went at this Lamport Stadium and decided we will definitely do our shows there. At Lamport Stadium, boy, it was challenging. Elsworth decided to do 4 big nights. One night was the Calypso show with every top entertainer from every Caribbean island was here. I mean, it was Tambu with Oh No, We Ain't Going Home. It was Sugar Aloes. It was the Mighty Sparrow. It was everyone you could think of was here. Swallow, Jamo, everybody from all over. Plus, you know what Elsworth went and do? He went and picked up announcers from on radio stations and so on. So he brought Dave Elcock, his name, Phil Simmons. He brought Tommy Joseph, Sprung Along, name it. Everyone was in town for this big show. But unfortunately, the powers that be didn't want him to succeed with that show at all. Apparently, it touched a lot of toes. And in doing so, the first show that we put on finished. Now this with all these people, you have to go 3-4 o'clock in the morning, yeah. But at 10 o'clock, they pull the plug on us and say they have a noise bylaw problem, and we cannot put on the show. Carl and Carol, he brought all these people up. So Carl and Carol was the only band that played. And Elsworth had about 30 more acts to go. And the 30 acts did not play. So it was a big thing where everybody got mad and want back their money. And meantime, Elsworth was having a show in Harbourfront with Marshall Montano. He was at Harbourfront, and I had to take the brunt of everybody's abuse. So me now, I went out and I said, well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, excuse me, we having problem for the first night, but please come back tomorrow. We will have it together. And oh my God, if some of them say, I'll tear your so-and-so out, give me back my money, you're big thief, you know.
So based on your premise for tomorrow, was tomorrow a better day?
Tomorrow was worse. Nobody came back. Nobody came the Saturday night, but we used that, and from Jai from Chin Radio and every entertainer that was in town, they used that as a solemn moment to tell the people, look, all of these people are in town. Sparrow said, what are they trying to do? This is a good thing for Calypso. Please do not hurt our art form like this. And Sparrow, they all get together, and Sunday, the Sunday show, look, before I could have gone down there to open up the place, which I was down there like 9 o'clock in the morning to make sure the venue is clean and so on. There was lines for the show. People were just coming, begging to get in. And we had over 5,000 people this Sunday. The show was excellent, excellent. Everyone said, oh my God, what a show, because they never saw these acts before. You know, it was Mighty Duke, not Lord Kitchener, every act you could think of. I don't have the thing in front of me.
I would say randomly it's anywhere between 18 to 20 something acts, and that was crazy in those days.
Definitely. And sweetheart, what happened is that we pulled it off, and Sunday was excellent. However, the police came to Elsworth and telling Elsworth, oh my God, Mr. James, you know you have a noise bylaw problem. When the Sunday show started, you don't show the man shows Friday, you throw his shows, there's no show Saturday. Sunday, when he finally get things going, you're coming now to tell him there's a noise bylaw problem. So Elsworth was so mad that he was looking to fly at the police. I said, Elsworth, are you crazy? We have this thing going. We are already there. We beat all the odds. Please stop it and let, you know, just abide to what they're saying and let us pull our show off. And we did. We pulled the show off, and oh my God, people had such a great time. Monday, oh, I have never seen nothing like that. We had over 10,000 people showed up at Lamport. Oh God, Margaret is the baddest thing that ever hit Toronto, that, you know, and we really had a fantastic time. However, we had challenges galore because there were things that were doing in Canada. Like, you know, they had shows in small places and so on. And most of the people thought that we had no right coming in and doing all these changes. Changes is a thing that, you know, not everyone could accept changes. And changes to that magnitude, they didn't want.
Okay, so to those people, even what we're doing here is a change and is a difference. So they will have to bite the bullet on that one too. So basically, a problem, but this ended up being a nice problem he has there, because come the Sunday and the Monday, it was successful.
The Sunday and Monday was successful, but some people, you know, okay, like, but when I say...
Well, hold on. We're not giving those people that type of satisfaction.
No. I'm not talking about them. Busloads came in from all over. People came from where Elsworth was traveling with the Mighty Sparrow in all these islands, Bermuda and so on. They all came. So some people had to get back, so they didn't, you know, they couldn't see that it was a success. So, but Elsworth James' name went around. Like, my God, he's a big thief. He's a this is that. No, they don't know the problem that he was going through.
All right. He had some tributes. I see in here he had a tribute to Shadow, to Kitchener. So from all that, so that success he had, and obviously he was coming into success, he figured he had to give back to the culture from how his roots were in Trinidad or whatever, and he started doing tributes. Is that correct?
Well, even before he started doing the tribute, he did a TV series filming all the entertainers from every Caribbean island for Channel 47, that the Caribbean people could see the artists live on television. So what he did, my husband mastermind, what he did was make sure that the total Caribbean was involved. And in doing so, so he have a Jamo from Grenada, he had, you know, Swallow from Antigua, he had Arrow from Montserrat, he had every Caribbean people were represented. So when you turn on your TV and you look at Bacchanal, you were very, very proud of, as a Caribbean person. You also get something and wave thing with the flags. Everybody was coming with their flags, you know, showing how boy, proud to be, you know, to be part of this beautiful fabric we call the Caribbean. So I will say that Elsworth James have bridged the gap with the beautiful Caribbean people. Before Caribbean people only used to go to their own thing, you know. Barbados will have Barbados thing, and so is Grenadians, and so is Trinidad. What Elsworth did was bring everybody together. And today, my God, when you go to a show, every Caribbean, it makes me so happy when I see them all with their different flags. It is the most beautiful thing, because I think he has achieved what he set out to do. He went through pain, you know, and I wouldn't say he alone, me and my children and everybody went through the pains with him. But this is this is the beauty of what we are seeing, the success of what we are seeing today.
So the tribute is that also a give back, the tribute to Shadow, the Kitch, and then not only the tribute, also one of the things you mentioned, Lamport. But when I look at it, he started doing the big venues, the Metro Convention Center, the Docks, the Melasman. How did this whole thing evolve?
Well, at first, we used to do an annual Easter show right after Carnival. Everybody will head for Toronto for the big Easter show at Ella's. And Ella's was, oh my God.
That's Ella's Ballroom, right?
Ella's Ballroom. And Ella's was the thing where everybody, nobody, thousands, we have to turn back every year. So Iowa George did a song, click, 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 I turn on my computer. Elsworth James emailed me from Canada. I said, he called him about Ella's for Easter. I said, Elsworth, Ella's get too small. Take me on the docks on the lake shore wall, and you know, and that is how the docks was evolved. Where we had was to take the show to the docks, that, you know, because it was Ella's got too small, you know. But I missed it because, you know, that was our baby for how much years we were at Ella's, but we had outgrown, you know, outgrown Ella's. And so we had the Easter show at Ella's. And the May show was done at places. First, we started at this place, Masonic Temple, with Eddie Lovett and all these people. But even that get too small. Thousands can't get into. So we decided we definitely have to be using bigger halls like the Metro Convention Center, and and that is how the tributes were started. The tribute started with the Lord Kitchener. Lord Kitchener don't travel to Toronto. You had to bring Lord Kitchener by boat to Miami, and then from Miami he will take a train or a bus to New York.
He doesn't fly?
No, he wouldn't fly.
Okay.
God Kitchener did not fly, God rest his soul, you know. So in doing so, people wanted to see their Lord Kitch. So at that time, the show was just the Calypso show where you sit down and you clap and so on. But Ellsworth decided, look, this can't work. So by the tribute to Shadow, he incorporated the youths, went to the powers that be and said, look, this thing is a family show. So they allow us to bring the children. And my God, it was out of this world. The kids were waving and having a great time and even enjoying the Calypso, because what we used to do is bridge the Calypso with the soca.
Well, on behalf of Shadow, I must say, it's hard to sit down to Shadow.
Yes, you know, so we had like Shadow and Super Blue and Crazy, and the bands were Roy Cape then, and also Song Rev, Jala and Marshall Montano, and everyone was at that show having a fantastic time. And our youths, Marshall was Marshall wasn't the big star on the show, was a Jala with Jump Up and Get On Bad. Marshall had Mama Ding Ding, Go Down Low, Mama Ding Ding, but I don't even think he was happening then, because he was telling Ellsworth he was looking to quit and go into engineering. However, when Marshall started to perform, all the girls pull him off the stage. Delicious Vinyl used that as one of the catalysts to make sure that Marshall got signed. And by God, Marshall was back into the game, because Marshall was almost ready to say, that's it, you know. And today I could say, well, we help to make sure Marshall Montano stay in the game, you know. And he is such a fantastic entertainer. Looking forward for greater things with him.
I saw you had something at Mel Last Month Square. Was that
Mel Last Month Square was one of the tributes, but that was tribute to Stalin. And what Ellsworth decided to do, giving back to the public, but all they had to do was bring a can of food. And we had thousands and thousands of pounds of food. Everybody came with a can and we gave it to the food bank. I have never seen anything like that. That was 2 days at Mel last month. We had over 50,000 people, and Mel never even allowed us to. Mel said, that's it, nuh-uh. too big for me, you know? So, but that was some of the things. We had, Ellsworth brought up bands and entertainers free to the public. I mean, free, you know. He had Traffic, he had Chinese Laundry and Slim Douglas, Ronnie McIntosh singing Sandra. Talpuri had our old woman we taking home. People mash up the place with the old woman, you know. Yeah. Plus all the top DJs, you know. His DJs was also always soca vibes, fantastic DJ, always in Ellsworth Corner, Riyadh, DOC, you know. These were his personal DJs, and they all helped to really make this thing the success it was, you know.
So when Ellsworth was getting all the success, doing all the tributes and everything else, my thing is, I can't recall, I'm not sure if he was ever part of the Caribana committee. Were you guys ever around the Caribana at all?
Yes, Ellsworth was a board of director in the Caribana, 2004, 2005. And the reason why he decided he's going to go in Caribana, which I was against, but you know, after hearing his reason, I said, look, go ahead and do your thing. He went into Caribana because he thought he could make a difference. And one of the difference that he made was taking Caribana to Hong Kong. Making arrangement for Caribana to go to Hong Kong. He was the public relation person at that time, and Hong Kong Tourist Board got in touch with him asking how they could get Caribana to be part of their celebration. I think that's their New Year festival or something like that. and he took Caribana along with Eric Delfish and Dalma Hill, fantastic Antiguans who always working so hard to help with the culture also, decide that they will go with the tourist board. So they went 2004 and 2005.
How was it?
It was a fantastic hit. You see how much Chinese in Caribana now. Before we never used to have one. Today, every time and you're seeing Chinese dancing more than anything else. Number one, what they told me is that that's the first time they saw cameras, your cell phone all lit up. The Chinese people didn't know if to dance or what to do, but when they saw this thing, everybody was taking pictures like crazy. So they went 2 years in success, and Elsworth did the song "I Like Calypso Music." I like Caribana or something like that. Change around his song, and when they came back from Hong Kong, we were invited to this dinner, and invited to this dinner. I said, but Elsworth, how me and you alone and Renee from the camera was the only person there, So, boy, when I look, I saw Elsworth, big black face came up on the board singing, "I like Hong Kong." So they changed it from "I like Caribana" to "I like Hong Kong." And that is what they used. And the place was packed. It was a hotel downtown. And if you see the getup, beautifully done with only white people, and who face was there running Hong Kong was Elsworth. So I said, but Elsworth, do you understand what's going on here? And he so lackadaisically not even paying attention. I said, boy, they are promoting their country using Caribana. I said, what is Caribana doing? Anyway, they use that to bring all these people who they had in this big get together was all tourist related to bring people to Hong Kong for their Caribana. Now they don't need Caribana; they're putting on their own thing,
And when I was in Tobago, I understand I was with Ivory, and understand you guys were in Tobago.
So what happened? After we did all of that and more, and as I said, the tributes were every year, Ella's Banquet Hall every year, Lamport Stadium. Eventually, it was just getting to, we got tired and decided, look, we are going to go and take a break in Tobago. In fact, we went for 1 month in Tobago. We went for 1 month and ended up spending a year because it was so relaxing. It was the best thing that could have happened to us. We discover each other all over again. Every morning we will go to FX gym, exercise, and then straight to the beach.
So,
and boy,
so is it safe to say honeymoon?
Definitely, it was. So we said, that's it. But Elsworth James again cannot keep quiet. Next I know, Elsworth is on Tambourine Radio as an announcer. He met with his boy George Leacock and Aljo, his good friends. Elsworth have friends all over. Name that man, I've never seen nothing so in all my life. He don't care where we go. When I said, well, okay, nobody know him here, so it would be nice and peaceful. Let me just only go out in the public. Elsworth, so yeah. He started working, going in on Tambourine, doing some Saturday shows, linking up with Goose, Ian the Goose Elligot from New York. It was such a big hit in Tobago that they just loved it. Next I know, Elsworth was doing a business expo in Tobago.
Can't keep the man down.
Definitely. Now, before we went home, we did a business expo at International Center, before we decide to take the break. We skip over that. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, we were on the Tamil radio station here doing a radio program on Calypso, and it was such a fantastic show, but unfortunately we ran into financial difficulties and had to leave the radio station. So in doing so, the Tamil people I have never seen nothing like that. They had an expo at the International Center. Only myself and Elsworth was the two Black people, well, not Black, but Caribbean people there. I have never seen nothing like that. Thousands of people coming, booths like all over. So Elsworth said, well, Margaret, this is what we're supposed to do with our music. We are just dancing and jumping and having a great time. But where is the business part of it? And we decided to do the same. Now, it was a success in some because we had Rema Ministry, Pastor Mickles as part of it. Top entertainers at Jamo. I think we had, what's his name from Jamaica, Ernie Smith, who sing Bend On, you know, and we had, what's his name, Mutade drummers and all the dancers and entertainers along with the business expo. So we had over 200 and something booths, but unfortunately we did not have the crowd, and that is half of it why we say, look, let me go take a rest and relax ourselves in Tobago. And in doing so, we as I told you, Elsworth was on the radio and tambourine. Next I know, we tell them the idea that we did, and Elsworth have so much friends in both government and private sector and whatever. We started a big expo in Tobago, the Tobago Expo with the chief sec and everything. It was a fantastic, well-attended show, and we
and if I can, you remember what year that expo in Tobago was?
2010. Yeah, it was 2010, and that expo we brought in, we honored people from Tobago. My uncle was one of them, IT McLeod, for the things that he have done for Tobago. He owned his own private island in Tobago. Penny Savers was his, the gas station was his, the newspaper was his, you know, all of those things he started Tobago with. So we decided to honor him and a few other people that was suggested to us. And having all the booths and so on, I've never seen, the whole of Trinidad came up. It was the biggest thing. Only local businesses. You should see the most beautiful businesses. We have some talent in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, but unfortunately they do not have the outlet, because when you have something, they force us on the pavement, but if they will only pay attention to these businesses in Trinidad, we will be on top and don't have to beg nobody for nothing. You know, you don't have to bring in this one and that one. We have it right there in Trinidad and Tobago. But anyway, we're not going to forget the politics. Definitely, you know, it was such a great success that we, the following year, the sponsors asked us to bring it to Trinidad. And we did it. We did it at the Center of Excellence at Macoya. Jack Warner, that was Jack Warner's place, yes. Beautifully well sponsored. We had like Carib, we had the Guardian Media, we had the Minister of Education, Media Extra, we had Coca-Cola, we had, oh God, name it, all kinds.
So that's safe to say you were well supported.
It was well supported by everyone.
So and how did the Trinidad Expo, how was it? The
Trinidad Expo was, it was even better than Tobago, because you didn't have to take a boat and come up and so on. It was right there in their faces, and they just eat that thing up with as I said, the Trinidad boots, we had all things Tobago. Tobago came down with crab and dumpling and Tobago food and Tobago things. You know, one man even make a bed out of bamboo. You know, you should have seen this thing. You know, and his whole furniture was done out of bamboo. The different businesses that we had, I have never seen such talent as in Trinidad and Tobago. We had it in another year. We had the PNM booth, the UNC booth. We had everybody involved. But the following year, the Minister of Errol McLeod decide, look, can I take this thing from you this year? And we did it for the Labor Day. I think it's Labor Festival or Labor in Trinidad that weekend, where Errol gave all the booths, free booths. One booth was like 6,000 per booth, but what Errol did is he gave it back. No, you didn't have to pay no money, and that was quite a success. Errol and Gypsy did an excellent job. But we didn't done there. It was our 50th anniversary in Toronto, in Trinidad. And Elsworth James decided, I am going to give 50, I will love the government to give back $50,000, to give $50,000 to the icons, the ones who even died, like Mighty Duke, all of them was part of Shorty, give them $50,000 each. It was agreed that yes, that will happen, but unfortunately, the politics played a part, and they said they only could give $12,000. Some people got 50,000. Sparrow got 50,000. Rose got 50,000. Nelson got 50,000. I know David Rudder got 50,000. Shadow got 50,000, but the rest of people only got 12. And in getting 12,000, it looked like Elsworth James took the money, and it wasn't so. It had nothing to do with my husband taking anything. It was the powers that be said, no, them people don't deserve that, and who went PNM and who went UNC and all kind of nonsense. So, I said, Elsworth, you see me? That's it. And at that time, I noticed Elsworth was, slowing down.
Can I ask, based on this, because this is a stigma that sometimes stay and follow people unfairly. Did you guys have any recourse, rebuttal, go to the media to clear your
No, we didn't. I had it at that time. I say, you see me, everywhere I go, this damn thing following me. Let me go and have and just relax myself. I was in Tobago just relaxing on the beach, and boy, did I love it. Next, you start up with all these shows. That's it. I had it.
Yeah.
So, we decided to come back to Toronto, and in that time, I noticed that he was going through all these different challenges. And the
challenges, if on medical terms, is it dementia, Alzheimer's? What
yes, he was about 5 years ago. Elsworth started losing things and repeating things and if he goes downstairs, in a familiar area where he lived, can't remember to get back home, going back on other people's door, knocking on the wrong door, and so on. So I said, but Elsworth, what the hell is going on with you? Anyway, after he did that a few times, I decided to take him to the doctor. And when they ran the different tests, they realized that he has dementia. The doctor, they put him on a pill called Momentum. And this Momentum was supposed to slow it down. She said, look, it will slow it down, it may even cure it. But if it doesn't work we are talking about in less than a year's time, he would not know who you are. So me and Elsworth was laughing. Elsworth said, how the hell I wouldn't know who you are? Girl, don't care where you are, I will always know who you are. And we're making our jokes and so on. But to be honest, to the day, Elsworth did not know who I was after, in a year's time. It is that dangerous. This dementia is a very cruel disease. We went through different stages with him. Stages where he went way back to when he was in a soul singer back in the 60s, where he only wanted to hear Otis Redding song, I hear Duck of the Bay until it coming through my nose. Down in the valley, when I inquire, Andrew Perry and these people told me that was the songs that he used to sing, before I met him way back in the 60s. And he will play that morning, evening, noon, and night, because maybe that is where he found his peace.
Yes.
And he will talk things about way back then that I said, what are you talking about? I wasn't even in those days. But I realized, that as the doctor said, he was going into the different stages. It was it's the worst thing that ever happened, because Elsworth promised me he was going to be living to be 101, and we will do all these things. And now, now he is not around to do that. He is in the stage 3, where he is now, don't know who I am, don't know his children, but still have that beautiful smile on his face, like the other day I went in, he said, Margaret, I love you, and you love me. So I said, God, I'm going to have something special here with my husband today. I'm getting back my husband. So I started to engage him in the different, as his trend, as he's going. I said, what the hell they're talking about? My husband coming back to me. And boy, when I start, I said, well, how much children we have and so on. He just went right back into the 60s.
So is there anything you can do to help people out there, because this thing is getting a bit widespread?
Boy, it is over 50 million people worldwide that has this. And on his Facebook, I do post on his Facebook about his condition. We didn't make it a secret. When he was getting ill, he asked me to have Bianca Jacob, his great friend, pen his, what he's going through. She did an excellent job. So everyone, Elsworth have thousands of friends out there, and these are not friends that on Facebook, these are people that Elsworth know personally. So Bianca pen his story and told them what's going on. So we do keep an update and let them know exactly what's going on with him. He isn't, we are taking great care of him, and he is very comfortable, but very, very confused.
Well, at this stage, what I would say is that we don't really know what's in store, and you might have great things before you. Keep the faith, and we know behind every good man. I never spoke to you before, besides these few days where we was doing all this prep, but you fit the bill in terms of being strong. People listening to you would like to have you in their corner, and I want to say it's not just brave, it's almost like offering the public, as you guys did in the art form, some information, still helping the public to come to grips with certain things. And I want to thank you on behalf of the public, and to continue, be strong. And I see you're surrounded with your granddaughter. I spoke to your granddaughter and the kids and stuff, and just keep them close, and you guys support each other. So I want to.
Well, boy, I have no, I have to do that, because, we always said, if one of us go down, please keep the family together. And that is what I have to do. I'm taking great care of him. What I would like to say out there, the people who are suffering from this, please be kind to your loved ones, because they don't know what, they're in a different world. A lot of people don't understand this. I didn't understand it. A lot of people, what they do need is love and compassion. Just it is challenging, because there's a time where they could really tell you off. Elsworth was somebody, what, Lord have mercy, I want to know if he was going crazy. But the thing is, you have to be kind and compassionate to the situation, and we are doing that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and before we close, I understand now that we're talking the family sector, I understand your kids are doing well in their career.
My kids are doing extremely well. My son Kareem, he is a Emmy nominated artist, and he is in California doing very, very well. So everybody is looking for my Kareem to write for them. He was even up for that Emmy award against Victor Newman.
So what category was he nominated in?
Songwriting, best original song.
Best original song.
Yeah.
For a series?
For a series. The series was Giant.
Giant?
Yeah.
Okay, and your daughter understand since that big song, since she was a hit before she even started, because I think I have a picture of him and her in Lamport Stadium when Costa Rica played Trinidad.
Oh yeah, we were in Tobago then, and they all follow me,
Yeah, you were in Tobago too?
Yes, I was in Tobago, but maybe I was doing something. Yes,
okay.
And they were at the game. Both he and Afisha was at the game.
And how is she doing?
She's doing great. She's doing great. Hear about her stuff soon.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, again, I want to thank you for giving me the time, passing on the information to the public. I think it's valuable information.
Yes.
Both the tribute to your husband and the information about the medical side.
Yes.
And say hi to your children and wish you guys all the best.
Thank you so much, and you keep up that good work. This is well overdue. Everyone, I'm looking at, I can't even stop looking at all the people that you are interviewing. So interesting, and I hope that the people will support you, because we don't have much support in this town. It's about time they come together and realize that we need people like you. We definitely need people like you. So let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, my dear.
All right.